Hey family, how y'all doing? Welcome to Daily Dose of Wisdom. All right, so today we're talking about the fruits of worrying, right? And so let's put a little difference between worrying and excessive worrying, right? So at one point in our lives, all of us, we have worried a bit, right? All of us all over the world, right? At one point, something or a situation, a scenario has caused us to worry, right? And that's normal, right? But then, we move on a day or two, a week or two, maybe even a month, we move on. We're able to cope, we're able to manage. We will return back to a healthier, us, right? However, when we're talking about excessive worrying, now we're talking about a whole nother ball game, right? So now this is worry, um, you know, um, multiplied, right? And so what that is, then that looks like anxiety, right? So excessive worrying looks like anxiety. And so what happens is that your body goes into overdrive, right? And now you're constantly focused on what might happen, right? Um, and so this leads you to, be suffering with high anxiety. So are you someone who feels like maybe you excessively worry too much, right? Maybe be on the level of, okay, I worried for a minute or two, a day or two, and then I'm able to move on. Or do you feel like you've lost control, right? And you excessively worry constantly about many, many different things. Is that you? All right. So let's take a look at what these fruits of worrying looks like and how we can combat it. And gain clarity and work towards a healthier you. Okay, so the chronic warriors, what they feel is this feeling of like sensing impending doom, right? You have this unrealistic fear constantly. And also, you become ultra sensitive, right, to your environment and to the criticism of others, right? And so, pretty much, you're seeing anything and anyone to be a potential threat because, again, you're always on this high alert. And what this higher alert is in response to is how our body functions in regards to fight or flight. I'm pretty sure you've heard of that before, right? So when we're in a stressful situation, when we're excessively worrying ourselves about certain things, our body goes into a fight or flight mode. Will they fight in the moment or will they run? Will they flee in terms of, how your body's functioning? And so when you have these emotions, what happens then is your body produces hormones, right? In response to that. And that hormone that it produces is called cortisol. Okay. Cortisol then, has certain physical reactions that then that then it creates within us, right? So we're talking difficulty swallowing, dizziness, dry mouth, fatigue, fast heartbeat, headaches, right? Muscle aches, nervous energy, rapid breathing. It pretty much suppresses our immune system, as well as it can lead to giving us digestive disorders, right? Muscle tension, at times short-term memory loss, and even premature coronary artery disease, right? Heart attack, right? So we're talking about major, major health issues that can come about due to excessively worrying constantly, right? And so it affects us mind, body, and soul, right? We're talking about your appetite, we're talking about your lifestyle habits, right? It affects your relationship, your sleep, your job performance, okay? And what happens is naturally you try to look for ways to cope, right? And some harmful negative coping mechanisms that you may use may be like overeating, which can lead to obesity and other sicknesses, cigarette smoking, or using alcohol or drugs, right, to try and get that temporary relief in a moment, but it's in a unfortunate a negative and harmful way that then further accelerates bad health, right? And so this is something that's, major. And at times I think we overlook it. We think it's normal. We think it's only right that you worry, right? We forget though that our bodies and our minds and, how we function, there's a certain level that it can take, right? And once we reach that level, we're now functioning in unhealthy territory. Okay. Um, and if this continues, right, you continue to excessively worry, you building up this high anxiety, and it goes untreated, right, this can lead to depression or suicidal thoughts, guys. Do you feel like you've ever reached that point where you were so anxious, you excessively worried constantly to the point where you were starting to feel depressed? or where you had suicidal thoughts, right? So this can lead to dangerous territory, mind, body, and soul, right? So it's very important that we tackle this head on, that we learn positive coping mechanisms, that we get the support from others, that we speak up. Speak up, okay? Do not stay in this by yourself and hurt yourself, okay? Speak up and get help. All right. So, ways to decrease and eliminate excessive worrying or that high anxiety is the first thing to do is to talk to your doctor, right? So we're talking about this affecting your health. And so naturally that's going to your doctor, that's, doing tests, whatever it may be, doing a physical exam, just checking your levels to see how are you doing medically, right? And letting your doctor know these feelings that you're having, okay? Another thing you can do is to exercise daily, right? Walking is exercise. You can go for a walk for a mile or two. That's exercising, right? Because what happens is it boosts our immune system, right? It allows us for, like, basically we're training our body and our mind, right, a way to deal, right, with stress under control circumstances where you are doing this act, right? Exercising daily, which then your body responds in a positive way, increases your mood, right? Your mind is alert, right? So that is very, very helpful as well. Okay. Eating a healthy, balanced diet, right? We know diet matters, right? In anything, because it also affects us. And so the effects of excessively worrying can lead to you either eating too much, eating too little, or eating unhealthy foods, right? So a way to tackle that is to create a balanced diet in working with your doctor and knowing your body, where you'll be able to then function at your optimal level because you're taking the enough nutritions, right? Your body, you're feeding your body the right way, which then feeds your mind the right way so that you're able to function at your optimal level. Okay, so a balanced diet is very, very important. Furthermore, to be conscious of your worries, right? And this is where we go into the idea of mindfulness, right? To maybe if you need to take 15 or 20 minutes a day to kind of process your worries, to think about them, create solutions maybe, right? And then knowing after that 20 minutes, okay, it's time to stop and to move on to the rest of my day, right? So that's you being mindful, that's you, acknowledging your worries, but not so, drenched within them, right? So being able to create that for yourself allows you to control that better, allows you to decrease the amount of time that you're worrying, right? To no avail, right? Because at times it's things that are beyond our control. Okay. And now, our coffee lovers, sorry to say this, but you have to drink coffee in moderation, right? And this is due to, coffee stimulating the nervous system. And so that triggers adrenaline, and then it makes you feel like nervous and jittery, right? So if you're having 4 to 6 cups a day, that might cause you to become more nervous and jittery, right? So, try to stick to 1 or 2 cups, just so that you can help kind of balance out your nervous system, okay? Learning to relax, right? Practicing self-care, right? Those two work hand in hand. Because what happens is when we relax, that's a different reaction that our brain is having. It's the opposite of fight or flight. And so what happens is with relaxation, the blood flows to the brain, is increasingly, and then your brave waves, they shift from alert to beta rhythm to a relaxed rhythm. Okay. So very, very important to practice some things that lead to you relaxing. So we're talking about deep abdominal breathing, right? This can happen several times a day where you just breathe, right? Where you breathe in slowly, count to 10, and you breathe out slowly, counting to 10, right? This is very, very helpful. So you can try that to kind of relax you, right? To get you back to a calm level, okay? Furthermore, prayer. Prayer may be very helpful for you, may be very relaxing to you, right? Listening to calming music, right? Taking a warm bath. Um, so these are examples of things that you can do to help you to relax, right? Aromatherapy, right? Lighting candles that smells great, smells that you love, lavender or whatever it may be, to kind of help calm your senses, right? And help you get to that relaxed mode, right? Having a strong social network, right? This is something I think in today's society is not it's being neglected, right? the idea of needing others, right? And we're talking about needing quality people that are dependable, that are supportive, that care, and that are there for you when you need, somebody to talk to, when you need advice, right? To help you plan, to help you create solutions, right? For whatever you may be going through, right? So it's very, very important having these strong social networks, right? Whether it be family or friends, okay? And then, of course, last but not least, talking to a therapist, right? Going to counseling, right? Because what happens is you then be able to learn about these coping strategies, learn new skills, learn more about yourself. You'll be able to, create solutions, right? But the goal in, counseling is you then implementing the solutions, right? Nothing will work until you actually do what's put out there on the table, right? So you actually take the steps. Okay. So seeking counseling is very important to help you manage, to help you cope. And especially for someone who may not have a strong social network, this may be a very, very beneficial way, again, that you connect to others to then help you through your tough time. Okay. So don't forget, guys, the fruits of excessive worrying, they're not so pretty. They're actually very harmful, and it can harm you mind, body, and soul. So take the time out to learn about yourself, to figure out, am I an excessive worrier? Do I have high anxiety due to my worrying? And taking some of these steps, practicing some of these coping mechanisms so that you can learn how to manage, you can learn how to control, right? That feeling, that urge, and get back to healthy you. All right. So thank you guys for joining, for listening in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. I'm gonna share to someone who may, benefit from this. Thank you, y'all. Have a great day.